So well. How about yourself?
Every day is a good day. Every day that I wake up with a Wolf family and Team DAO, baby.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you, brother Adam.
You too, love.
Always appreciate to see my regular extended family, brothers and sisters. Welcome into the space. It is time to wake on up, y'all. Happy Wednesday. What I like to say is self-care day. Love to come on a Wednesday morning and get some. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for joining us this morning. Wake up everybody in the Woo
Grand
family.
Rising, Grand Rising.
Welcome in.
Is that your studio?
Appreciate you in the space. Hey, is that Chris?
Yes.
How
is
you
is that your studio?
doing? It's a virtual studio, sure. It's in the
Oh
future.
wow. It looks almost realistic. I hope you get it.
Yes. See, you already know the vibes, Chris. Appreciate you being here, brother. Yes, exactly. Okay, we had a manifest, all right? Bring it into the space, call it into the space, the things that we want. And what I would love for you, or what I want is for you to grab something like a notebook or a pen, right? Well, and a pen. You need something to write with if you got the notebook, okay? So a notebook, a pen, so you can take away some juicy gems. Whatever resonates with you, take it. Anything else that does not, you leave it, and it's all good. Maybe you need a beverage, right? When wake up in the morning, I actually like to start with some lemon water. Okay, boost the metabolism. Get your body and your organs going. Get everything on the inside all flushed out in the morning and ready to operate and smooth. Okay, some lemon water. Maybe you like a hot beverage, like some tea or some coffee. Go ahead and grab that. We still got a couple minutes. So excited to have this conversation with y'all this morning. Boss Moves, as you can see on the screen, is coming up next.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
All right, wake up, everybody. Wake up. You already know it's time to get up. Okay, more than just actually waking up with that alarm clock, right? But it's really time for us to wake up into life, this time and space that we're in 2025, in the fifth industrial revolution, in the digital age. Do you have conversations with others who are mentioning these key words and talking about the time and space that we're in? What are your conversations like right now about the time and space that we're in? If it's nothing like one of the conversations we're about to have right now, I want that whatever you take away from this conversation, whatever you write down in your ready notebook and pen in hand, or take away from this recording or this video, that you run with it, that you actually land on your feet on the ground in this time and space and truly run with it and apply it. I'm here today to talk about a couple of things, but I want to start with where we are in the economy. Okay. There's so much change, drastic change in the economy, whether it's the job landscapes that's changing, or if it's inflation and tariffs and just the state of the economy, our communities all across the nation. Now, I want to talk about, or a little share a little bit about the while there's a lot of concerns, and as there should be plenty of concerns about what's happening within the community, to also share my enthusiasm for this particular community to have the opportunity to thrive in such a climate, but only when we have that perspective. Now, the conversation today that we're going to have is majorly around wealth and how we see that word. Now, when you think of the word wealth, go ahead and drop in the comment box for us. What does wealth encompass? When you hear the term wealth, what do you think of? What comes to mind? Okay, because we're going to have a conversation about wealth, and we're going to hone it in on one of the main tools that we absolutely use on a day-to-day basis and think about on a day-to-day basis, and maybe even speak about on a day-to-day basis. That's important. Okay. And so that term, I know for me, for the longest time, when I heard the word wealth, I really would hone in on money. Okay. Now, there was only one way to attain money consistently that I learned about over the course of time. And I did a majority of those things that I learned about from others. Okay. I started working very early at the age of 14 with some summer youth papers, right? So I had summer jobs that rolled into me being able to work and be on payroll consistently at the ages 16 and 17 at McDonald's. That was my first job. Okay. And then from there on, I was told that you have to get a good job, get good grades, get a degree. Well, maybe that's not necessarily in line, right? So maybe it's get good grades, get the degree, get a good job, right? Climb the corporate ladder in that job in order to make more money. And that the more money I had, the more security I'd have. And I did those things in particular. Those things I did. I got decent grades, okay, enough to get me a degree out of college, Bachelor of Arts. I'm sorry, Bachelor's of Science in Business and Administration with a focus in human resources. I worked with several companies, spent over 10 years in retail. And at a certain point in my life, I'd say that it seemed that a lot of the things I was told to do was really working out. The one of my longest working jobs and where I climbed the corporate ladder was making close to six figures a year, if not that, including bonuses. And so I said, okay, this is what my family must have been talking about. No one else in my family was doing so. And it certainly seemed like it provided some security at the time until I got laid off, until the pandemic hit, until inflation hit. And all of these various factors that affects the way that we behave when we do not have enough money. Now, obviously, when we're talking about the conversation of wealth, it's a very broad conversation because so much is encompassed under the umbrella of wealth. Wealth is not just money. It's abundance, it's prosperity is included in that, but then it's love, it's health, right? It's all of these are wonderful things that is underneath this umbrella of wealth. However, many, if not all of the things that is encompassed in wealth is impacted many of the times when we do not have the right resources and tools to use. And those resources and tools typically revolve around money. Money is what makes the world go round, a part of it. Because, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, right? Because there's a lot of subjective opinions about this word money. Money could be a very loaded word for people. It definitely was for me, especially after doing all of these things that I learned growing up that I was supposed to do, and then I was going to be fine because I was going to have security as long as you have enough money. But what is enough money when you continue to live on beyond your beyond the years of what you can foresee happening within the economy? And so and wanted to change my perspective. Being laid off with the unemployed and not receiving consistent cash flow afforded me the opportunity to have a look at some of the things that I've been told over the course of my lifetime and see if the math was mathing. And wherever the math was in math, it just meant that there was still a problem to be solved. And so I'm going to ask my partners to go ahead and bring up my first slide here because I want to have a conversation now about one of my virtual mentors who has helped me to reshape my thinking and my behaviors when it comes specifically to the conversation in regards to wealth. Okay. So if anyone knows this man on the screen, whether you know it from the illustration that's here or if you know it by the name, Myron Golden, today's conversation is about boss moves. Okay. The business optimization success secrets from $1 million round table. Okay. Myron Golden, drop it in the chat if you know who Myron is. If you don't know, you could also drop that in the chat too. We're going to talk a little bit about Myron first because he's in the same boat as I was not that long ago. Okay. And obviously, um, me and Myron are a few generations apart, and he was in the same boat not that long ago. Okay. So Myron taught me and teaches others about how to understand the concept about creating wealth because understanding how to create wealth is one of the biggest challenges holding many people back, specifically our people, BIPOC community. In this session today, we're going to talk about and explore Myron Golden's Boss Moves book, where he breaks down wealth building into clear and actionable strategies. So I want to actually talk to you and guide you through some key principles today that can help shape your tomorrow, that can shift your mindset, help you to build confidence around yourself and how that creates wealth in itself and empower you to take ownership over your financial future once and for all so that you don't have to end up in the same boat like I did, or if you already have that, you understand where to go next, or if you know someone who knows someone, your grandchildren, your children, your family, your friends, that if they ever feel like they're swimming in the same ocean, that there is a life raft and there is victory at the end. So we're going to stay on this slide for a while. I want to tell you at least three key facts about Myron Golden. Okay. So Myron is an ordinary person, just like us. Okay. He's in fact, he might have been through the ringer a little bit more than some of us in this room. Myron is a polio survivor turned millionaire. Okay. He contacted polio as an infant. He was born in a segregated South in Florida and walked with a brace and a cane ever since. Never ran a day in his life, not in the schoolyard, not for the bus, none of that, y'all. Okay, despite this challenge, he built a multi-million-dollar business and inspires others with his story of resilience. And also, he speaks from the space of faith. And that's what I appreciate about Myron. Myron is a Bible based business coach. I have never heard of this before and did not even know it's a thing, right? But especially again in today's world, y'all, in the fifth industrial revolution, in the digital age, in 2025, in the creator's economy, you get to be who you are, how your life and your path was designed. Myron is a Bible based business coach, and Myron teaches business success from the principles that he learned from King Solomon in the Bible. So he literally took King Solomon's business plan out of the Bible and applied it into his real life situations. His most well known teaching framework comes from the deep understanding of scriptures and economy and economics. So he's literally studied the Bible since he is 16 years of age from a friend who asked him if he knew about Jesus. And that's what sparked it all. Okay. Myron is also the author of his first and popular book, From the Trash Man to the Cash Man. Okay. This chronicles his journey from working as a trash collector back when sanitation earned only $6.25. Now it's one of the most sought after professions, right? For job security. Okay. But Myron was working as a sanitation worker at the time where it was $6.25 an hour, y'all. Okay. And then eventually built his own business, multiple businesses at this point, where he's now a high income earner. So is both mindset and business strategy that Myron forged together in order to help himself become a successful multimillionaire and then help others. Okay, so Myron's pathway to success literally combines faith, skill building, and sales mastery. Faith, skill building, and sales mastery. Now, I'm pretty sure that for those of us in this room, that a majority of us mostly have two out of these three. Okay? So there's faith, there's skill building, and then there's sales mastery. So faith first, right? Myron centers his teachings on God and scripture, encouraging others to align their business with biblical principles, especially around value and stewardship and abundance. These are faith-based principles, okay? Not religious, faith-based principles. You can actually find them and more than likely in any of those books. Okay? Myron also teaches about sales and high ticket offers, okay? Myron teaches one of the fastest ways to wealth in mastering high ticket selling. And he breaks down how to offer premium solutions that deeply solve customers' problems because we have to pay for big problems too, right? When you have a big problem, usually you have to pay more money and you're paying that somewhere into someone. Myron always talks about leveraging opportunities like this that I'm telling you in this time to be alive, this amazing time to be alive, and then legacy as well. And he emphasizing that creating systems, creating assets and intellectual property that work even when you don't, while you're sleeping, like courses, coaching programs, books, or even YouTube content, can put you on a path to wealth. And then finally, Myron always talks about mindset rewiring, which is so important. It is actually the most important part of the initial process in changing a behavior. It's your mindset, rewiring your mindset. Myron insists that belief precedes behavior. Okay. So if you don't believe that you're worthy of wealth or that you can accumulate wealth or that your actions won't support your own success, okay, Myron in this book helped people to reframe their thought process about money, God, and service. And I can appreciate that about him. Now, I'm going to give you some of my gems and takeaways on the next slide from what I got out of reading Myron Golden's Boss Moves book. Okay. Myron says that money has a need for speed, but in order to speed up our money, we have to become the boss of something. Okay. And we need to become the boss of our thing. But first things first. So on the left hand side here, need you to stop saying these things. Do I have a volunteer in the room that could come off mute and read these three phrases in the left hand column?
I can go first.
Appreciate you, brother Adam. First column.
Okay. First, stop saying these things. I'm broke. I can't afford it. It's too expensive.
That's it. Thank you, brother Adam.
You're
Y'all,
welcome.
if you have said any of these words before, or if you still say any of these phrases or something like it, I want you to understand something. When we are communicating, first and foremost, anytime you use the word I or you use the words I am, you are affirming something about yourself. When you say the words I'm broke, you are affirming your brokenness. You're not just claiming how much money you have in your pocket. For all of that, you can actually say how much money you have in your pocket. You can say I have only have $5 today. Right? Stop saying I'm broke because you're affirming your brokenness. And when you affirm your brokenness, guess what you have to get more of? More brokenness. Literally, we can only receive what we believe that we can have. And so if you are already claiming to only have this thing or to be this thing, that is all that you can be. I want you to be mindful about the words that you're speaking because they're holding vibration. So when you say I'm broke, it is impossible for you to be rich because it's the complete extreme opposite of richness, of prosperity, of wealthiness. I can't afford it is also an affirmation. You might think that you're just acknowledging these things, but there's a thin line between acknowledgement and affirmation. Whenever you use the word I or the words I am, you are affirming a thing about yourself. So when you say I can't afford it, you are right. One of my favorite quotes is from Henry Ford. He says, whether you can or can, either way, you're right. So it's not actually that you can't afford it. It's because you believe that you can't. It's not a fact that you cannot afford it unless you affirm that you can't. It's only because of your vibration, how you feel behind those words when you say it. Next, it's too expensive is not necessarily a bad thing to say. However, when you use that and end it there without comparison to something else, it's not beneficial to you. It does not do you service to think that something is too expensive, relaying the message again that you can't afford something. To say something is expensive can be used in comparison to something else, right? Because usually there's another object, a service, or a product that will give you the same or a similar solution that might cost something different. But to make sure that we're not just saying it's too expensive and leaving our vibration mean it's too expensive for me versus it's too expensive compared to something else that might be in your budget right now. You just want to be mindful. Start to look at the way that you are vibrating in your frequency on topics about money and wealth because that's the first shift. It's in the minds is in the mindset. It's in the spirit. Myron said, wealth has a need for speed. Money has a need for speed. And right in the dedication, this is not even getting into the book. This is literally on the 15th page of the book. Myron submits to us that when we shift our mindset and start focusing on things that make the biggest difference, the things that make the least amount of difference will become invisible to us. Being broke, not being able to afford something, things being too expensive diminishes once we stop focusing our time and energy there and start focusing on this next column here. Start creating. Do I have another voice in the room that could read the middle column?
Ashe, Sister Hattie.
That's Sister Hattie. Thank you so much.
Next, start creating. Use your skill sets. Use your talents. Choose a problem to solve.
Thank you so much, Sister Hattie. And yes, once we shift our mindset, now we need somewhere to place our attention and focus. The mind's job is to think. So when we are moving from one area of thinking, we want to be intentional about where we're placing our attention next. Okay, so we want to use our skill sets to create something. We all have skill sets. If you have had a job, you have gained a skill set. Okay, so, what are your skill sets? You want to write that down. Understand all of your skill sets. Just write all of your skill sets down. Are you good at writing? Are you good at mechanics, plumbing? Are you good at making money, saving money, spending money? What are you good at? Are you good at binge watching Netflix? It doesn't matter. Like for real, I want you to actually think about some of these things, your skill sets, your talents. What are you talented at? Do you know how to play an instrument by ear? Do you know how to juggle? Do you know how to what do you know how to do? What talents were you born with? Do you know how to draw? Do you know how to sing? Right? And you want to write all of this down in your notebook. Okay? Skill sets and your talents. Worst case scenario, you can't think of skill sets or your talents. I want you to choose a problem that you're passionate about. These topics of conversations that you're having on a day to day with your friends and family that you're passionate about and speaking with conviction with them. What's the problem? And now, instead of just talking about it, how can you create the solution? How can you be the change that you want to see in the economy, in the world, in your community? I want you to start to create something around this, a product or a service. Okay. Because once we do that, then finally we could start monetizing on it. Do I have one more voice in the room to read this? Finally start monetizing, the last column here on the right.
I can.
Thank you so much. Whose
Let me,
voice is this?
well, this is Andrea, but oh yeah, yeah.
Angie, I appreciate you. Thank you.
This thing just moved a bit. Okay. Finally, start monetizing. Create an offer. Sell your offer. Affirm your birthright.
That's right, sis. Thank you so much for reading that out for us.
You're welcome.
We want to create, y'all. Anything that we purchase, someone created it, and then we do what? We exchange our money for the value every day. Whether you're buying a cup of coffee, whether you're purchasing a household product, even if you're buying, well, anybody in New York, you're buying a Metro card or you're buying gas for the car, you're constantly exchanging money for value all day long. But are you creating on the opposite end to for others to exchange their money because they need to do that? And they need to do that with you. For so long, I've been using my communication skills and talking with friends and family and strangers and helping them solve their problems with free of charge until I actually came to the realization that communication is one of the two top paid professions in the world, is speaking to people, and that people pay for that. That's just speaking to people about solving a problem is something that I can monetize. So I need y'all to use your skill sets, your talents, or to choose a passion project, a problem that you care about and you want to solve, and to create an offer to the people you come across that needs your solution, to sell that offer to someone who needs that solution. They want to exchange their money for your value. And I need you to affirm your birthright. Wealth is your birthright. Wealth is our birthright. The playing field is leveled today. We have the opportunities that we've never had. Our ancestors have never had in their lifetime, but they paved the way for this moment for us to use our skill sets, our talents, and to choose a problem to solve it, y'all. That is your birthright. And the time is now to act on it. So, as we move into the final slide, I have an offer for you. And it's a very simple offer. This book has changed my life. Okay. Once it got a spark going, and you already knows what happens when you start a fire. If you leave it alone, it just grows, right? It gets bigger. It spreads. This is what has been happening as much as I've been reading this book. I'm going into my fourth time reading this book during my book club that launches in the next 2 weeks. Okay. So my invitation for you all, which by the way is 7:30. So if you have time to stay for this final piece, I appreciate it because it may be for you, but if not, then that's okay too. Make sure you come back and catch this part of the recording. Thank you for joining us. Okay. So launching my book club finally because I found out that it's not about how many books you read, it's about which books you read and the impact that it makes on you. And then you study that book and then you apply everything in the book. I want to apply that wealth is my birthright. I want to apply that wealth has a need for speed. I want to apply that Myron said it's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little money over a long period of time. What? I've never heard anybody in my community that looks like me describe money in that way. That's the mindset shift that I want to have. That it's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a lot of money in a long period of time. I want a piece of that. Especially for me, I'm a small business owner. I need cash flow, not just for my personal endeavors now. I need cash flow into my business. I want you to know that you can be the boss of your thing, whether that's a personal endeavor, whether that is a business endeavor. Regardless, this is about building a framework, a system around allowing your money to work for you. The same way Myron Golden did, even with this book. Okay. We're going to talk more about it. I want you to be a part of the conversation. You don't have to read and apply alone. You get to do it in community and in a group and have a community to hold you accountable. The book is $29.95 plus shipping and handling is $9.95. Okay. So I have a link for you. What I want you to do is within this hour is to cop your copy so that we could begin reading together in my book club, which is the Dream Team, a part of the Dream Team membership. You will get access to my book club for the first month for free while we read this less than 200-page book, which we'll finish within a month. Okay. And then after that, the membership is $13 a month, but you don't have to pay anything until you decide on whether the Dream Team membership is for you. So inside of the membership is access to toolkits. So this conversation goes deep, y'all. And so I want you to be able to continue this conversation way beyond this 30-minute session. You'll have access to toolkits that's going to help you shift your perspective around wealth and generating cash flow faster because money has a need for speed. So, whether you are an aspiring entrepreneur or you're already an established small business owner in your early growth stage, this membership is for you. So, I'm going to give you access to my toolkits that has helped me to create offers based on my skill sets, my talents, and the problems that I wanted to solve, and to deliver them as offers to people in exchange for value for money. You'll receive expert guidance at this time for the next month through reading this book and applying concepts to building your own offers to people, and especially creating high ticket offers. Okay. You get access to the book club, obviously, and some other exclusive perks because I have some workshops coming up. So if you like discounts, that's included as well. But I think the most valuable part is the high vibe dream community. You have to stay in community. Y'all already know that. We're inside of this room. That is what Wake Up Everybody is, right? We're in community as we're talking about it. We want to stay in community and keep this conversation going. Wisdom is only powerful when you put it in action, right? Knowledge itself is not power. You can read all of the contents that's inside of this book and do absolutely nothing with it, and that's knowledge. Knowledge does not turn into power until you actually put it into action. That means that once you read all of the contents in this book, you start to apply it. You actually apply it in your life and you watch the results and the transformations happen so that you could be your first testimony to change inside of your own life. That's wisdom, y'all. So I want to leave you with this opportunity to get the gems that's inside of this book, to have accountability buddies and community to read together, and to have a method and a way to actually begin to apply it without having to be confused, without the burnout, without the overwhelm, without the loneliness, with it, and reading at your own pace as well. Okay, this is not speed reading, no worry about it, but we get to come back and share together. So the gems that you read may not be what I read, and we get to share this value together. And if you already have a small business, it's even more important that you're building the framework that has worked for someone who made $6.25 1 hour, went bankrupt twice, and then has now built several businesses as a multi-million dollar successful entrepreneur, giving us his recipe for 30 bucks inside of this book. Okay, because otherwise Myron charges $40,000 an hour of his time if you wanted a 1 hour coaching call with him, by the way. Talk about talk about high offers. And with that, my friends, I'm complete. I know we're a little bit over time, but I'd like to pass it back to the moderators for any comments that was in the chat. And maybe we'd have time to open it up to a person or two in the space if someone wanted to lend a voice. Thank you.
All right. No, thank you, sister. Thank you so much, Sister Shayna. Very robust and, full of positive pillars to get us started in just a 30-minute time. So that was amazing. And, so just a couple of comments because of the time factor that we have here. Um, Wealth is having more resources than the bare minimum. That was Brother Chris. Nicole said, abundance flows. Abundance in all areas of life was my definition of wealth. Nicole said, when I think of wealth, I think of home, St. Vincent. I think of love and loved ones. I think of standing in purpose and doing what I love. And so I'm going to just read a few more just to get some of the voices in the community in. Lucero mentioned the boss moves. Queen A said, yes, I love him. Join some of his trainings. All right, so she's talking about the author. Working on this birthing center, Brother Chris mentioned. Brother Chris was that I can fund my birthing center by having someone pay me for speaking about it. And Sister Laura was saying, use social media to promote your birthing center. All right, so just loving the exchange here. Chris said, how? I just got my first television a couple of years ago, and apparently they are smart now, still figuring out the screen.
I hear that, Brother Chris.
Yeah. So those are some of the comments in the chat, and I think we're going to proceed just in respect for the time. Exactly. This clearly lets us know that there's got to be some um, facilitation, your presentation here. All right. Please share your
Appreciate you. Yes. So again, y'all, this is a special offer. Okay. Just think about if inflation doesn't change, especially in your favor. Okay. The conversation around mass layoffs continue, or if AI actually takes over your job or your children's job or your grandchildren's job, or that they remove pension and social security plans, or if we continue to let employers dictate our finances, whether we get to stay at that job or not, if rent and housing hikes continue and are persistent as they are now, okay, or if that we pass down the mindset of brokenness or not, or thinking that creating wealth is hard, right? And actually not ever receiving reparations because our mindsets and our vibrations don't even speak abundance. That you take up this special offer. Okay. So once again, First month free into my Dream Team membership. Come and experience what it's like to be supported around your endeavors on a daily basis. Okay. You want to join the Dream Team membership for the first month for free, where we'll also read Myron Golden's Boss Moves book, Business Optimization Success Secrets from $1 Million Roundtable together. Okay, the first month is free. If you like what's there for free and you decide $13 a month is something that you can do, then you can stay on for 13 a month, which is usually $35 a month. You have that opportunity. All you have to do is hit the link that's in the chat, that bit.ly Shayna creates. This offer is open to everyone. Okay, but you do have 1 hour to respond. Why? Because we start reading next week. So I need you to order your book so that you're actually a part of the book club when it kicks off. And with that, I'm complete. And then next is the way to stay in contact. I'm
Excuse
on
me.
Face. Oh, sorry, y'all.
No, sis. I just clicked on your link. It gave me an error message.
It went somewhere else. Here, I got you.
Same. It gave me an error too.
I got you. I appreciate you, Chris. With the, I love it. Chris, like I got my morning ritual going as well. Thanks for sharing it with us, Chris. I got y'all right now. Okay, but in the meantime, this is my contacts right here, y'all. So what you're gonna do is, yes, you can hit me up on Facebook, but much preferred if you want to reach out to me directly, especially small business owners. I host a webinar every weekend on creating offers and frameworks. You're gonna email me. Okay, that's not my email down there. But you're gonna hit up Shayna Creates on Instagram if you're on Instagram, or you're gonna email me, and I'm gonna drop my email as well. So here's my link for the Boss Moves book is right at the top of the page. You can't miss it. So go ahead and click on that link. And boom, my email is in the chat as well, y'all. All right, that one works. All right, link, working link, y'all. You got to get your book now. Don't miss this opportunity. You need time for it to order it so that it can ship, so that we can start together on time. If it shows up a little bit later, that'll be okay. But if we delay, then it won't show up on time. But yeah, this is my contact, y'all. Otherwise, reach out. Y'all know I'll be here next month, so see y'all again. Thank you.
All right, family. So we would love for you to continue to support this movement, this Woo movement, in your offerings and donations. That our monthly automated love offering is $25. You can offer 50, 75, $100. Right? So this helps us programs that are affiliated with Zoom and Facebook platforms. So please make your nation. This is what has had us operate for 1,189 days up to this point. Continue to contribute to this network, and in doing so, into yourself. Okay. Up tomorrow, the Mika Joseph. Words are not just sounds, but declaration. So that is tomorrow. And, right, any newcomers?
Brother Kamala, you're coming and going. I don't know if it's for everyone or it's just for me, but
It's me as well.
yeah, you're saying one word and then your mic is going out.
Same here.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. I'll read the slide. So the Woo Nation welcomes all new members. If there are anyone that is new, please drop your name in the chat so we can properly welcome you. We are a community that is made to help you learn, elevate, and ascend. And we've been doing this for 5 years now. So come on in, welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you, and come back again. Keep coming back. And next up, this is our schedule. We are live in Zoom Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Or sometimes we go a little bit over when we have to. And Monday and Wednesday, 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. And as you can see, sometimes we go over a little bit as well, as needed. And we are streaming live on Facebook in our private group and on our Facebook page. But if you want to be alerted to come in every morning, we have a text alert system. All you have to do is text, okay, there you go. Text Woo Nation to 74121. Put the number 74121 in the box that is as though you would put someone's name or number, and then put Woo Nation in the text alert, and it'll automatically add you to get morning notifications every time that we're live. And then put Woo Nation in the text alert, and it'll automatically add you to get morning notifications every time that we're live. And we thank you, and we ask you to stay in touch. And how you register to be in this room right here with us right now is by going to bit.ly/wake up movement. That's bit.ly/wake up movement. Please, when you're sharing with others, that's what we'd like you to share with them, the registration, not the direct link into the space. Okay, and then you can reach us also in our private group at bit.ly/Woo Community. And our public page on Facebook is bit.ly/Woo Nation. So we are on Facebook. We are also on Instagram at @Wake Up Everybody Virtual, and on YouTube at bit.ly/Woo on YouTube, where you'll find all of the presentations. We're putting all of them up, all the 5 years worth of videos there. So please do follow us on our YouTube channel. And also our email, if there's any comments, questions, feedback, or anything that you'd like to share, or if you know of a facilitator that would like to facilitate, email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And now we invite you, everyone, to please come off of mute, and let's share our love with a love shower for our wonderful coach, Shayna, who always brings it to the max. So
Yes, you on fire, girl. You on fire.
Thank you, beloved.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much, Shayna, for your
Fine.
presentation.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
sister. Thank you. Thank you.
In this book.
The
My
key thing
pleasure.
that Shayna said in this presentation is
Appreciate y'all. Look
tap
forward to
into
it.
your gift.
I can't wait to.
Hey,
Ashe,
Somebody
ashe.
gift your
I say,
creativity.
I say, y'all. Thank you so much.